Hello and welcome back to the AA NBA podcast. I'm your host, Aiden Hammond.
And I'm Aditya.
And today we got a lot to talk about.
You want
to start us off?
Yeah, so first we're going to cover some news. The first topic is that as of right now, there's a tentative plan. There's an agreement between the NBPA and the NBA to start the season on December 22nd.
Yeah, that's big news because the NBPA, from what I was seeing, was not thrilled with that idea.
No, they wanted to start in January.
Yeah, they wanted
sometime.
to start, I believe, January 16th or the 22nd or 21st. I don't remember.
Something around there, yeah.
But
and have a
regardless,
50-game season.
This is about a month. This is about a month earlier than they wanted to start, and is about 20 games more than they wanted to have to play. But they agreed with the NBA Board of Governors on the season start date. And obviously it's well known that the NBA is a players' league. If the NBPA truly did not want this to happen, it wouldn't be happening.
There has to be some sort of agreement that they made about resting players or something, because I know typically the NBA is not a fan of that, but if the Lakers rest LeBron for 2 games, I doubt they get in trouble.
Yeah, I can imagine with as has been the talk. Really, last year was the first time it really took off because more players were doing it. But load management is going to be a huge topic of discussion for the first couple months of this season because players are going to do it. Players are going to need it, I think, because, obviously the Lakers and Heat just played a fairly long finals series. They played a 6-game final series. The Lakers played, I believe, a total of 29 games in the bubble, 8 regular season, 5 for the West, 5 for each series until the finals. Yeah.
Everyone in the bubble had it rough because they were literally just playing every other day. There's no 2-day things until you were done.
Yeah, I would assume that the oh God, what am I thinking of? The reasoning for them to not start it later is because they basically had a 4-month off season. And I know that it wasn't really a 4-month off season. They were still training. You couldn't really go any, obviously some players were kind of going on vacations, but you couldn't really do that for the first couple months. So I think that that's kind of the thinking here that, well, you already kind of had a bunch of time off. Even if it wasn't time off you wanted, time off you had planned for, you still had it. And, you were only in the bubble for 2 months, 2.5 months.
And that's only applies to the teams that were in the bubble. Some teams just straight up had a 6-month break, which is also the question comes up of are they going to have a preseason? Because the players that haven't played in 6 months are probably going to need it.
Well, they're not having a summer league, which is
bad for the rookies.
Bad for the rookies. We didn't really
especially
see
in this class.
Call me a media Zion lover all you want, but Zion Williamson is a great example of a guy who didn't really play in the summer league, or really the beginning of his rookie year. And you saw, kind of what he did. So I can imagine that it's not going to make that much of a difference.
Well, Zion's also a generational athlete. This draft class isn't like that.
Yeah, he is, but he was NBA ready, and I think that there are enough NBA ready prospects where you're going to see it with some of the guys that maybe go towards the back of the lottery, or maybe the really raw guys. But a guy like Anthony Edwards or James Wiseman or Obi Toppin or Denny Avdija. Is that how you pronounce his name?
I just call him the Denny God.
The Denny God. Those guys that are more ready for the NBA, I can imagine are not going to have as much of a problem with it. But your Cole Anthonys, your Nico Mannions are probably maybe going to have a little bit more of an issue with that just because they are a little more raw and just a little more raw. It's going to be bizarre, definitely, to see.
Yeah. Good luck to the players. I am excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. It felt like the NBA season just ended.
Because it did just end a month ago.
Yeah, less than a month ago, bro. It was like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's going to be fun to see how the season goes. And honestly, this was how I was hoping they would do it, because we get to see what the season's like when it starts basically on Christmas. I know December 22nd isn't technically Christmas, but it's close enough. Or like even just late December. I just wanted to see them knock off about 10 games, start it in late December, and make the playoffs go through July. And it sounds like they're kind of just planning as they go.
There's the question, though, because like they said this isn't like a permanent plan. They're really just only planning on doing this for the next upcoming season. So, like, are they going to have another short off season so they can finally get everything regulated, or are they going to have a longer off season?
Well,
I don't really know.
I don't know, because I saw that, so each team is going to have 12 back-to-backs, I believe, which is, I think, twice the amount that they usually have. I think teams only have, like, 6 back-to-backs built into their schedule normally.
That's insane.
Is that correct?
I mean, I don't know.
Let me look on League Alerts. Actually, you just looked on League Alerts. Did it say anything about that?
No. I mean, it said 72-game season, but it didn't say anything about the amount of back-to-backs.
Okay. Yeah, so this is going to be... It's going to be good to try out, but I can't imagine the NBA is going to be like, yeah, let's just go from playing 82 games to playing 72 games to continuing to play 72 games. Unless the NBA somehow becomes significantly more profitable, which I don't think is going to just happen overnight. It's a gradual thing with leagues like this, with really any league. So, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to look. I think it's interesting to think about, though.
Mm-hmm.
And nice that they're trying it out. Like, you know, if the players like it enough, they could probably convince the league to just do it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the league will do what the players want. They're like the one league in sports that understands they're nothing without the players. So,
yeah.
All
right, what do we got next?
Next up, Giannis is expected to sign the Supermax sometime this week.
So this is from, I believe, John Gambadoro. So it's not Woj and it's not Shams.
And it's not Tim
It's not
Bontemps.
Woj and it's not Shams. And it's not Tim Bontemps. So I don't know how reliable this is, but I wanted to talk about it because, you know, League Alerts wouldn't post it if it wasn't at least kind of legit.
Everyone follow League Alerts on Instagram.
Everyone follow League Alerts, one of the best pages on Instagram. So what? This is kind of a little bit out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming he had to have some good conversations with the Bucks management.
Yeah.
Although, like, now you have the problem of they couldn't get it done already, and now they're going to be in cap hell with Giannis and Chris Middleton. Like,
Yeah, I agree, but this team, as it's built currently, minus Eric Bledsoe, is built to succeed. I truly think it is. If they had prioritized signing Malcolm Brogdon over signing Eric Bledsoe, they probably would have been in the finals, been in the Eastern Conference Finals at least. They're not getting gentlemen swept by the Heat, that's for sure. No diss on the Heat, but the Bucks were just not. There was something wrong with the Bucks. They were outmatched. I think that having Eric Bledsoe just be kind of a negative on both ends, where Malcolm Brogdon just isn't, is what killed them. They lost a lot of close games. Mike Budenholzer failed to adjust. But I think if Malcolm Brogdon is there, they probably at least don't lose in 5 games. Like, that was just they don't go out pathetic like they did. So I think they already kind of fucked themselves there. But like, as long as you have a top 5 player in the world, you are going to be competing year in and year out, especially if you have pieces around him like Eric Bledsoe, who's an all-star. So the Milwaukee Bucks are not
all-star.
Or I'm sorry, Chris Middleton.
I was about to say, hold on. We were just slandering this man.
No. Chris Middleton, who is an all-star. Like, they're getting a lot of hate. They're going to be the 1 seed again. All this stuff about the Nets being the 1 seed, I don't want to hear a word about that until they start off the season. That's partially the reason
they're getting a lot of hate, because they're always the 1 seed and they haven't made it to the conference finals.
No, they did make it to the conference finals. They lost. They blew.
Oh, they lost in the conference finals. Yeah.
They don't get to the finals. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, I'm seeing people project the Nets to be better than them,
which is fair.
Which is kind of fair, but it's not going to happen because Giannis is going to have another dominant season. He'll probably be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year.
It really just depends on how KD comes back, but I don't think it's really that outlandish to think.
I think it is, because I think that first of all, I'm never going to rely on Kyrie Irving to play more than 60 games. And even though I think the 2018, 2019 Kevin Durant can carry a team to the first seed, the East is a lot tougher than it's ever been, really, since Michael Jordan was playing. And I don't see a team with a guy coming off of an Achilles tear and a guy who can't play 10 games in a row to save his life being the 1 seed. I don't see it.
I don't know. I feel like last season Kyrie just didn't play because he knew it was a lost cause.
He did, but like,
let me just spend this time rehabbing.
Like, okay, hold on.
Plus, he doesn't, like, in Boston, he was the number 1 option. Now he can play sidekick again.
Okay, Kyrie Irving has played... Kyrie Irving has not played more than 60 games in a season since 2016-17. He's the last 2017-18 he played 60, 2018-19 he played 67, 2019-20 he played 20. Before that he played 72, 53, 75, 71, 59, and 51. He has never played... I think
it'll help that he's a sidekick again.
Yeah, but he was a sidekick in Cleveland, and in 2020... In the 3 years he was the sidekick with LeBron, he played 75, 53, and 72 games. I'm just not...
Yeah, but in that 2018 season, he kind of hated everyone there. Kyrie's a drama queen. If he doesn't want to play, he'll do something dumb so he doesn't have to play.
No, I guess what I'm saying is, like, I don't see a team with just Kevin Durant for possibly 6 or 20 games winning that much. Like, especially in the East as it is, like, they're going to drop games to Miami, they're going to drop games to the Bucks, they're going to drop games to Indiana, maybe. Like, it's just a tougher conference. And I think that the Bucks are just a little bit built different in the regular season.
Maybe. I don't know. I still see the Nets being up on that level. Maybe it's just me.
At any rate, Giannis... So Giannis re-signing is going to be bizarre if it happens, because I've basically been preparing myself for Giannis in a Mavericks/Heat jersey for the last, since they lost 2 months.
The thing is, you should want Giannis to re-sign with the Bucks, though, because anybody that's a fan of a small market team should want Giannis to re-sign.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely do want Giannis to resign. It's just bizarre because I've been picturing him not with the Bucks for the future. Like, I've just been like, oh yeah, he's gone. Like, there's no way. Like, the Mavericks are the least bad place for him to be. Like, I guess in my eyes, because like Luke is likable
in his eyes. Like, do you think in his eyes he knows how badly he underperformed, so he doesn't want to leave, or do you think it's
I think he knows opposite? That he kind of owes Milwaukee one.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, all right, I get it, we sucked. Like, I freaked you guys out. Like, I'm not gonna screw you over. And I also think he's just nice. Like, I think he's just a nice guy, and I don't think he wants an entire city to hate him, which is what's gonna happen if he leaves, especially if he goes to, like, the Heat or the Warriors.
Yeah.
Like, if he went to the Mavericks, like, I would understand. But like if he goes to the team that beat him or the team of the 2010s, like he's not his reputation is not recovering from that. Like we still see Kevin Durant his reputation's never fully recovered from going to the Warriors.
No, people just kind of forget about it, but like whenever it comes up, it's still like Kevin Durant's a bitch.
He's not hate him for that,
but
he ruined the NBA for like 3 years. God, it felt like so much longer than 3 years.
I mean, he ruined the finals for 3 years. But
no, he ruined the NBA
season.
He ruined the NBA.
I still enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, I guess, but like in the back of your mind, when you know that one team is definitely going to win it, barring significant injury, it makes it a lot less interesting.
Yeah, I think it seems like that just because 2015 and 2016 were amazing finals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. Dude, I kind of wish that the Warriors had won that 2016 finals because I don't think he would have went there if they did. And then the league would have been a lot better.
Well, wasn't it that Draymond was recruiting him after they beat him in the conference finals? Or was it in the finals when they lost?
Well, there's the story about the Draymond crying in the parking lot, like on the phone with Kevin Durant after they lost. But like, I think that I guess he kind of was, but I don't think Kevin Durant would have actually went there if they had went 73-9 and won the championship. You know?
If they went 73-9 and won the championship, are they the greatest team of all time?
I don't know. I think that's a dumb conversation. If they go 73-9 and win the like probably, but you know, you could make there's definitely more of an argument to be made for the Bulls and the Showtime Lakers that I think they won 69 games once.
Nice. All right.
So it's not like it's definitely not a for sure thing.
Next up, the Rockets are not committed to small ball, and the head coach found this out during his introductory press conference.
No shit. They shouldn't be committed to small ball because it didn't fucking work. They had us mesmerized before the pandemic happened. They had people saying like, "Oh yeah, those Rockets are going to shock the league. Those Rockets are going to use the small ball tactics and they're going to win a championship." And then they got reverse swept in the second round. So they shouldn't be committed to that. If they are committed to that, I would laugh at them and call them dumb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know why.
You can't do small ball without Daryl Morey and Mike D'Antoni there. It won't work.
You can't do it with them there. It didn't fucking work.
That's true.
They got their asses kicked.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm so done with the Rockets small ball thing because like people are like, are they gonna continue doing it? Like, of course they're not gonna fucking continue doing it. Why would they do that? It's an objectively bad way for them to play basketball. Like small ball is good if your center's 6'8" or 6'9". It's not good when your center's 6'5".
It also doesn't help when your center's 6'5" and also 34 years old and hasn't been like a really good player in how many years? Yeah, and it was essentially a corner 3-point shooter for the. Well, Draymond.
But Draymond also
was
significantly
career.
Younger and significantly better than PJ Tucker.
PJ
and they also had
34
a small
and
forward that was 7 feet tall when they were doing that. So.
Yeah, and PJ Tucker was 34 and was essentially a corner shooter for the last 3 years before that. So I mean,
yeah. This is it's so fucking dumb. The Rockets just need to blow it up. They gotta figure out a way to get some sort of high draft pick, and if they really want to go all in for James Harden, if like I don't know, if you could find a way to get James Wiseman or something, like I don't know what the Rockets do, but like no shit, small ball is not the solution.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we're introducing a new segment, the Knicks Corner, because it seems like every week the Knicks are doing something dumb.
Yep.
So
that is true.
Yeah, so we got a Knicks Corner. So any Knicks fans that are watching, hello and welcome.
Sorry.
The The first thing we're going to talk about for the Knicks, they are reportedly interested in getting Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Is it sad that this would be like their biggest free agency signing in the last 5 years? Like,
hey,
I
they
guess
signed
not,
Taj Gibson.
I guess not named Julius Randle or Taj Gibson. Like, this is their biggest free agency move. The man who's most famous for not being able to shoot.
The sad thing is that now there's going to be a bidding war between the Knicks and the Cavs for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is going to get fucking paid. He might get like $50 million.
Because both teams want him, dude.
It's been like 8 years since he was drafted, and everybody's like, okay, but what if we could get that Kentucky Michael Kidd-Gilchrist back? Like,
bro, he's still got a chance.
Yeah, he's 27. Like, there's no fucking way he's going to improve.
No. All right, next up. Chris Paul is reportedly interested in either playing in Los Angeles or New York. So, New York fans, get hype. Chris Paul in the Garden. And I think I saw like a rumor thing. I don't know how accurate it is. I don't remember where I saw it. But it was that if the Knicks got Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony would be interested in making a return.
Wow, so that puts them up from the 13th seed in the East to like the 10th seed in the East, maybe.
Yeah.
With Chris Paul.
And along with that, I guess, since we're already talking about their trading stuff, RJ and Mitch, so they're reluctant to trade RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson, but they are not untouchable.
The only two players on that roster that have even a sliver of hope of becoming future All-Stars aren't untouchable to the Knicks.
No, because they could get current All-Stars like Chris Paul.
Yeah, if they trade RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson for Chris Paul, I might just...
What if they trade RJ and Mitchell Robinson for Russell Westbrook?
Oh my god. That would be slightly better, but I don't... Like, it's it's such a Knicks move to be like, yeah, the only two players who might be good in the future are not completely untouchable. Like, they should be fucking completely untouchable.
Bro, and imagine this. Next thing up, our last thing on the Knicks ballot here. They are interested in getting Christian Wood in free agency. So, hear me out. The Knicks wheel out a lineup, right? Chris Paul. Who's their shooting guard? Who's their shooting guard? Is it Damian Dotson?
Jr.?
Dennis Smith Jr. Screw it, yeah. They don't have RJ anymore, so their starting small forward is like Frank Ntilikina, right? Now, starting power forward, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Starting center, Christian Wood. What do you think?
I think that's a shitty team.
Playoff team, though. And, bro, if they can bring back their key players like Taj Gibson and Julius Randle, they're kind of a powerhouse, I think.
Oh, my God. Oh,
especially
my God.
with
The Knicks
Thibodeau
are such a shit show. They're such a shit show, dude.
With Thibodeau running that team, bro, unbeatable. Thibodeau and Taj Gibson reunited. Taj Gibson becomes an all-star next to Chris Paul, and you're winning a championship. It's doable.
No, it's not. Let's move on from the Knicks because this is depressing.
Okay. Now we have the trade corner.
Trade corner.
We didn't do that last week.
The best segment on this show. No, I think we were. I think we were going to start doing that. Like, all right. Because I remember we did that like maybe last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So, first thing up, the trade corner. Chris Paul, more realistically, because not New York, he wants to play in LA as well. That has not been specified whether it's the Lakers or Clippers, but I'm going to assume it's the Lakers.
I would also assume it's the Lakers, but I would be happy if it was the Clippers.
It would work out either way because the Clippers need a point guard, and the Lakers give them the best chance to win a ring.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be fine with him going to either LA team. I mean, I know we talked about that trade the 3-team trade or whatever. I don't have it next to me at this moment, But
It was very
we
elaborate.
talked about it. Yeah, it really wasn't. It was just like a 3-team trade between like the Thunder, Nuggets, and Clippers that would send a first-round pick and I forget who to the Thunder, and then Chris Paul to the Clippers, and then
Bro.
it was a first-round pick and Paul George to the to the Nuggets, and then
what
it was.
if the Clippers gave up 3 more first-round picks?
Do they even have? Are they even allowed to like count that much into the future?
I mean, I think the next didn't the Nets do that? Is that allowed?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if you're allowed to give up picks like more than 7 or 8 years in the future. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking about like when I play 2K, but
Dude, the Thunder could have all of the Clippers picks until like 2031.
yeah.
All right. Next up on the trade corner, the Cavs have made Kevin Love available, which I guess he wasn't before. I don't really know.
Yeah,
I was under the impression that he was available, but he is now available. So
yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. Like, because there have been trade rumors about Kevin Love, like, basically since the second LeBron left to go to the Lakers. Like, I don't remember a day where I wasn't hearing rumors about Kevin Love to Portland or Kevin Love to, like, Houston or Dallas or Miami. Like,
speaking of which, where would you want to see Kevin Love?
Portland, actually. The first place I mentioned. Portland, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's at a point in his career where he probably can't be an all-star in the West, but, like, I think if he's getting legitimate playing time, he can be good for that team. Is he a little overpaid? Yes. Is that going to put them in cap hell with the CJ and Dame contracts and what they're going to have to pay Nurkic in the next couple of years? Yes. But I want to see Portland go all in. And I think that they're getting back their first round draft pick this year. Who was hurt for a little bit. I forget his name. I should know his name because he was a really big deal.
Nazir Little?
Forget. Yes, Nazir Little. Like, he should be. He's got a lot of potential. So I think that there is a. I think that there is a sense in Portland that they need to go all in, because Dame's not getting any younger. Like, he's not like by any means like on the edge of his prime, but like he's definitely like they need to start prioritizing winning. And I think that this would be a good way to do it. I think that Kevin Love's a good addition.
I think, speaking of cap hell, I guess since we're already on the topic, I think Kevin Love to the Bucks.
Oh, okay.
Because Brook Lopez, while he was still a decent shooter, he took a bit of a slump. Running out Kevin Love and having Brook Lopez maybe come off the bench and get some good minutes. But because Kevin Love is still a very good shooter. I know he hasn't had the Cavs have been ass for the past few years. But people forget how good he is.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good shooter. Like Kevin Love next to Giannis. Plus,
you know what?
What?
That would be he would fill in the space that Mirotic left. Who was
he's a lot slower. He's also
a
lot
slower, but that outside shooting big man, they can also grab a couple rebounds if he needs to. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of the hole that Mirotic left that needed to be filled, I guess.
Mm-hmm. A very expensive version of Nikola Mirotic, but I think he'd be pretty good with that team.
Yeah, I would agree. The Bucks are also a team that has to go all out, especially if the Giannis Supermax rumors are not true.
Well, if they're not true, then maybe don't get Kevin Love.
Yeah.
But, geez, imagine having all 3 of those contracts on your books, dude. That'd be insane.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's yeah. That's why. This is the exact scenario that small market teams have nightmares over.
Yeah. All right. Next up, the Heat along with multiple other teams that we're talking about the Heat because there's the most detail about them, are interested in making a trade for Jrue Holiday. However, they have made it very clear that Tyler Herro will not be part of these trades.
This is a good decision by them.
This is coming from a Tyler Herro hater.
I'm a Tyler Herro hater, not to like a crazy extent. I just kind of think he's a little bit of a douche. But okay, sorry about that. Technical difficulties. As I was saying, I can recognize that Tyler Herro is a very good NBA player and will probably be an all-star sooner rather than later. So I can definitely understand why they are not willing to give him up, and I think it's good that they're not willing to give him up, because if they were, I would seriously question Pat Riley. And I think I already said this, like, I think I already said that that if they traded him, this would be the first time that I seriously questioned Pat Riley. And
he did say this. This is correct.
And yeah, so obviously he's not going to do this because he knows that my opinion matters to him.
Mm-hmm. He knows. He's like, what would Aiden think about this move?
Yeah, would he want to do this? And no, I wouldn't, because it's dumb.
Yeah. So Pat, good old Pat, if you're watching this, now you know. Don't do it.
And there's more than just like Tyler Herro's future. Like Tyler Herro, as of right now, very cheap contract compared to Jrue Holiday. Like
also,
that's
like
not
Jimmy
to be
Butler's favorite teammate.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler's favorite teammate. The fact that you got to pay Bam soon. So you want to make sure that you have the space to give him a max without going over the
Do you
cap.
think that they should? Do you think they should be okay with trading Duncan Robinson?
That's a tough one, because I think that Duncan Robinson has a lot of value. Obviously, as of right now, he has a lot of value. But I don't think that he is a player that you want to give up. He's so important to that offense. He's got basically, as noted on Titus and Tate, which is a podcast that he actually goes on a lot that I listen to. He's got basically an unlimited green light. Like, he's out there just to be a threat of shooting. And I think if you get rid of that, your offense is going to take a step back. And you're going to see guys like Tyler Herro and like maybe Jimmy Butler and Goran Dragic. You're going to see defenses key on them more, because you basically have to at least keep two sets of eyes on Duncan Robinson. And without that threat on the floor, everybody can just go man, which, closes the floor up a lot on offense. So I don't really think that the Heat – I think the Heat should, like, obviously if they have a team giving up like multiple first-round picks, they should bite on it. But I don't think that – first of all, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Duncan Robinson is still underrated enough for that. And I also think that if that does happen, obviously, but like I don't think it's going to happen. And if it, I don't know.
So what do you think the Heat should give up for Jrue Holiday? Because like Duncan Robinson and Tyler Herro are really their big assets. Kendrick Nunn was cool, but like he doesn't have the value that those two have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, because now I'm thinking like, because you are right, Tyler Herro and
really think
Duncan Robinson have that value. Wait, what were you saying?
I don't really think that they should go for Jrue Holiday, honestly.
You don't think so?
No, I don't like. Jrue Holiday is very good, just period, but he's not gonna. I don't really know if I would want him if I'm the Heat, because the Heat are built to contend as constructed right now, and they're. I don't know if you want to risk fucking with that chemistry, especially if you're trading one of Jimmy Butler's boys, which is really the whole team, honestly.
Mm-hmm. But now you also have that problem of like they had this amazing playoff run, but do you think they can do that again? And also, do you think that this current team is good enough to win a ring?
I think this team... I think yes on both counts with the right circumstances. I don't think that they're going to... I think if you factor in travel, obviously, they have a home court advantage in Miami. When Miami's good, Miami fans are rabid.
Even when they're bad sometimes.
Even when they're bad, but obviously when they're in the playoffs, they're packing the stands. They're doing the whiteout thing, or they did that during the 2014 finals. Mm-hmm. So there's that, but also I think that this, I really do. I think that this team is built to contend. It's a perfect mix of, shooting talent, defense. They have the right, they have the amount of star power you need to have, which is basically 2 all-stars or 2 all-star caliber players. They draft well. They've got a top 2 or 3 coach in the NBA. They have a top 1 general manager in the NBA / president of basketball operations, whatever. They've got great ownership that's willing to pay money. I think that they're a contender right now in the Eastern Conference. And then I think if they got to the finals, I don't know. I think it depends on who they're playing. Because if they're playing, obviously the Lakers, it's going to be pretty much impossible to beat them in a 7-game series at Staples, no matter – because the Heat – here's what the Heat are going to do. They're going to finish with the 3 seed at best, and probably not the 3 seed. I think if they go to the finals again, it'll be as an underdog, like a 3 or a 4 or a 5 seed. Mm-hmm. So no matter what, you're probably not going to have home court advantage. Do I think they could beat the Nuggets? Yes. Do I think that they could beat the Jazz? Yes. Do I think that they could beat the Clippers? Let's see what the Clippers do in the offseason. I don't think that really anybody, even though he choked, whatever, I don't think anybody's beating Kawhi in a 7-game series with home court advantage and all that stuff in the finals, in the Western Conference Finals. Obviously the Lakers I'd probably take the Lakers, but regardless, I think that Miami has what it takes right now to win. I think that they can only get better with home court advantage, or with just the advantage of traveling, because they're just built different, kind of like literally they have different, better conditioning programs than the rest of the league, mm-hmm. which whether people like to hear it or not, definitely helps. Definitely helps with, if you're conditioned well, it definitely helps with the traveling. So mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think they are built to contend as constructed.
What I don't want to see happen is something that I've predicted as will happen if they make a big move for someone like Giannis in free agency, or like even if they trade for him or whatever. Is like, or maybe with Embiid, I'm not sure, but like the whole thing that happened with the Nets, where that team with D'Lo and Karras and Jared Dudley was on the bench doing those dances and stuff. That whole team was like a lot of fun.
They were the most fun team in the league that year.
And like everyone was rooting for that team, even if you weren't a Nets fan. You were like, especially like when D'Lo had those games against the Lakers and he knocked them out of the playoffs or whatever. Like you were rooting for that team.
The Sixers in Game 1.
Yeah, exactly. And Jared Dudley was flexing on Ben Simmons,
talking shit to Ben.
Yeah,
Simmons.
That's what I'm saying. Like that team was so likable, and I feel like that was the Heat this season, where if you weren't a Lakers fan, you were rooting for the Heat. And I'm worried that like if they make a big move or like trade away some of these guys that make the team so likable, like the Nets were not likable this season. I felt guilty when I wore my Nets hoodie this season.
Yeah, a team with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant is never going to be likable, ever. So those are like 2 of the least likable players in the league.
See, because that's the problem is I bought that Nets City Edition hoodie because at 1, it looks dope, and 2, that team was so much fun. And then they went out and signed KD and Kyrie. Now the problem
probably
with that,
2 of the 3 best players in that free agency class.
Exactly. So now 1, I look like a bandwagon because I say I'm a Pacers fan, and 2, that team was not fun at all.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they were just kind of shitty. Like,
yeah,
the only likable player on that team is like Spencer Dinwiddie, Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, and then it's kind of just a bunch of like either prima donnas or guys nobody's ever heard of. So
yeah,
and DeAndre Jordan, who's kind of just there.
He doesn't open his mouth ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so want to move on to the next thing?
Yeah.
So, what we got now? So, I think we talked about it last week, maybe, or 2 weeks ago, something like that. The Timberwolves are very open to trading their first overall pick because they're a failure of an organization. But now, new news has come out that the Warriors are also very interested in trading their pick, which is interesting because I think I, along with like you and a lot of other people, thought they were going to use that pick, draft Wiseman, win a ring, it would all be good. But now it's looking like they want to trade it.
Yeah. This is tough because I think if the Timberwolves can get Devin Booker, they should do it. Do you want to talk about the Timberwolves first and then the Warriors?
Oh yeah, we can talk about Booker now. I had that a little bit later on the list, but Devin Booker.
This kind of applies here too.
It's really kind of confusing it's an anomaly because there's half the rumors are out there Devin Booker's not happy in Phoenix and doesn't want to play there. Then half the rumors are Devin Booker's really happy and he thinks they can make the playoffs. So I don't really know.
Yeah, obviously when I saw the report that he was wanting to leave, I looked at the comments and all the comments were like, they're just getting good now. Like, why would he want to leave now? And
which they're not. They're going to be the same.
Facts, but they are steadily improving over time, and they are a dark horse playoff contender this year. I think. Now
that you mentioned, I know over the past few weeks we've been slandering Suns fans for saying they're going to be Noah for saying they're going to be the 7th seed because they're not. But I think we talked about this when the season first shut down, or when this whole 8-0 run was happening. But, the Suns were on pace to win, 30-some games this season, which is a lot better than every other season they've had.
They really drastically improved under Monty Williams, and I don't think there's any reason to think that they're not going to continue that improvement. Now, does that mean they're going to make the playoffs? Probably not, but they could win 40 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could win 40 games, I think, which is not going to make them a playoff seed, but it will make them a 9th or 10th seed.
Oh, wait, the Suns did win 34. Oh, that's including the bubble, I guess. So, yeah.
Probably still in the playoffs, better than, they haven't been in the playoff race in March in years.
Yeah.
So, I think that's a good, baseline. So, I don't know why he would want to leave now when it just seems like they're kind of figuring it out. He has a good relationship with Monty Williams, it seems. He seems to have a good relationship with DeAndre Ayton. I don't know why he would want out now as opposed to 2 years ago or 1 year ago, even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially because I think we all remember it. When the Suns won their 8th game and didn't, Monty Williams was in the locker room, cheering everyone up, no matter what happens, we did this. Monty Williams seems like a good coach. So I don't think any of the players dislike him or anything. He seems like a very liked coach.
I think we were talking about this, at the very beginning, the first couple episodes of the podcast, that, Monty Williams changed the culture there, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of the first... this is one of my vivid memories of when we were first starting it, is talking about how Monty Williams has changed the culture in Phoenix.
Yeah, because at the beginning of the season, the Suns were really well, and then the Wiggins was averaging 25. Oh man.
Yeah, exactly. They recovered from losing DeAndre Ayton really well. I think they rattled off a couple straight after they heard that.
Mm-hmm.
And my point still stands. I think that the culture has changed for the better in Phoenix.
Definitely.
I think they feel like winners now. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself and say that they're a definite playoff team or even have a good chance to make the playoffs, but they're going to be better, and Monty Williams is a good coach. I don't understand why Devin Booker wants out now.
I don't think he does. But if the rumors that he does want out are true, Timberwolves, you had a thing you want to talk about? Or you just wanted to talk about it in general? Or?
I mean, yeah. The Timberwolves have the first overall pick. We've talked about this before. Anthony Edwards has been kind of the presumptive first overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the Suns, you're basically trading Devin Booker for a really good young shooting guard who might be better than Devin Booker in a couple of years. But more like you already have Devin Booker. Why are you trading for somebody who might be on his level in a couple of years? I don't really understand that thought process, honestly.
Plus, from the Timberwolves' perspective, it's you're effectively trading the number 1 pick for another $30 million guy who's not going to play any defense. But he's best friends with your 2 other $30 million guys.
Who don't play defense.
Yeah. So like
yeah,
it'd be a
I've
team
wanted
that's
to
fun to
see-
watch, but they're not gonna like win anything. I mean,
I've kind of wanted to see this team up for a little bit, actually, like because they are, I believe, all from the same draft. Right?
yes.
Um,
No, they're not.
No, I think they are because I think Cat and D'Lo were the first and second overall picks in 2015.
Oh, were they?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I think they might have been because I remember the Slam magazine cover.
Yeah, from like 2 years ago with all of them in their jerseys and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
So yeah, like we know they're good friends.
Oh wait, no,
and it would be fun.
2014-15 was the Wiggins draft, so it would have been the season after that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell 1 and 2, and then Devin Booker 13.
Yeah.
And Miles Turner at 11.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna talk about him later too. So I've wanted to see this team up for a while. If it happens, it happens, and I think the Timberwolves are very interesting if it does. They're still interesting if it doesn't because they have the first overall pick. I don't know. If I'm the Timberwolves, like just draft, I don't know, LaMelo Ball or Anthony Edwards and be done with it. Like I don't think you can miss with Anthony Edwards. And if you get LaMelo Ball and he does turn out to be as good as his dad says he is, which he's one of the guys that I'm not really convinced on, but it gets you your starting point guard, which is something that you
Well, the
don't
starting
really
point
have
guard's
right now.
D'Angelo Russell.
Well, but he's a better shooting guard though.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting Anthony Edwards, who I believe is the best player in the draft, obviously D'Angelo Russell's going to be playing the point. But if you want D'Lo at his more natural position, the 2, you draft LaMelo Ball, and I don't think you can really miss if you draft either of those guys. But Lonzo Ball proved everyone wrong, so
Boy, didn't he.
boy did he. Oh man! All right, now we want to talk about the Warriors.
Yeah, sure. First of all, they've shown interest in Kelly Oubre, so like they might trade Wiggins, but like they still need a big because Kevon Looney's good, but like you without Kevin Durant, I don't know if you want to run out there trying to win a championship with Kevon Looney, especially with Draymond regressing a little bit since 2015.
Yeah, if I'm the Warriors, I'm not moving this pick at all okay, here's the thing. With James Wiseman, you're setting yourself up with a guy who can start right off the bat, who's better than Willie Cauley-Stein easily.
That's not a high bar.
Who's probably better than Kevon Looney, but I don't know, maybe not. Is going to get you good minutes, and is also your superstar of the future because if he truly has that superstar center potential, he's going to be next in line after Curry to take like the Warriors' throne, which is, when you're sort of at the tail end of a dynasty.
To take.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're I would say the Warriors are not still in the first half of their dynasty. I think that's fair to say.
I think that's safe to say, yeah.
I think they can still win 2 or 3 more championships if they really, if everything goes really well for them. But, they're not getting significantly better anytime soon. And, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson aren't getting any younger. Anyway, you're getting a guy for the future for when Steph Curry and Klay Thompson inevitably leave or retire.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a guy who's going to kind of take that throne from them.
Right.
The other person I've kind of seen being thrown around who is my favorite player in the draft, I don't know if he's the best, but Obi Toppin, which I think it would definitely be a reach to take him at number 2. But
because he's going to retire in a few years. He's so old.
Yeah, exactly. 22, bro. He might break a hip on the court.
Yeah.
But I've seen him being thrown around a little bit, and I think that would be a reach to take him at 2.
Honestly,
but
if the Warriors could trade down to 5 and take Obi Toppin, I feel like that'd be good. Because
I think that would be great.
Normally, I'll agree with Noah, who's the reason we're making these jokes about Obi Toppin being old. Normally, I'll agree with Noah that a rebuilding team wants to get a younger player. But when you're contending, like they are, you want an older player who's more established and already comfortable with his game. I feel like Obi Toppin can be that. So if they can trade this pick,
can also
get like a solid player and like the 4th or 5th pick, and then take Obi Toppin, like they're good.
Yeah, so Okay, back to the trade corner a little bit. So
Well, we're
who
still
has
in the
fifth
trade
pick
corner
right now? No, we're in the. Oh yeah, we are. Wait, no, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
Oh yeah, we are. God, I'm getting confused. I love the trade corner so much that I'm trapped inside of it. I think that yes, it's gonna be an overdraft to draft Obi Toppin at 2. Like, I'm comfortable admitting that. I really like him. Like, I was rooting for Dayton this season, but it's a reach to take him at 2. Especially when you're the Warriors and you can trade down.
The fifth pick is the Cavs.
Yeah, the Cavs have the 5th pick, and Atlanta has the 6th pick. I don't think he's going to fall to 7, but Detroit has the 7th pick. So let's just go through 2 or 3 of those teams. So if you trade down to Cleveland, who can you get? Like, because obviously it's not just going to be a straight-up pick swap.
Larry Nance?
Never is when teams trade down. Why would you want that, though?
Because he's not a bad player.
Yeah, but if you're getting Obi Toppin, you're already getting kind of a big guy. Like, I guess you need more than one big guy, but
I guess they have
Kevon
Looney and Marquise Chriss, so maybe not.
Kind of rather have Chetty Osman.
Yeah, but he sucks.
He does kind of suck, but I think that the Warriors could make him into, like, a baby Kevin Love. Like, I don't know. He's big enough and white enough that, like, I think he can shoot. I don't know. The Cavaliers kind of can't really put together a good enough package for the 2nd overall pick. Now to Atlanta, which I think is the most interesting one of the 3 teams we're going to look at. So Atlanta can give you Kevin Huerter. They could
if I'm
maybe
Atlanta,
give you
I'm not.
John
Because
Collins.
if I'm only trading up like 3 picks, I don't know if I want to trade any of those big guys. Big name
Kevin
guys.
Huerter is a big guy, though?
Big name
Like,
guys.
Big name guy?
Yeah, I mean, he's their backup point guard. I guess they have Jeff Teague now, but, like, he's, pretty important to that team. Plus,
So,
like, only to trade up to get, like, a few picks, because they have Clint Capella, so it's not like they need Wiseman, so they're not going to be super eager to trade up anyway.
yeah.
Like, maybe
So
you could
maybe,
get
like-
DeAndre Bembry out of it, but, like...
Well, I think that the real prize there would be John Collins, and I think that they might be able to pull it off, because if they get John Collins, that would basically be Atlanta saying, like, okay, we'll give you John Collins in this 5th pick or 6th pick, and we're gonna go ahead and take James Wiseman, who's gonna we'll
Clint
just
Capella.
run like twin towers at the 4 and 5. We'll run James Wiseman at the 4. Like, I don't know.
I don't know if I want to do that if I'm the Hawks. I think your best bet is to trade with the Cavs, honestly. Especially because if you get to the 5th pick, because, like, I think the top 4 is set. I think it's going to be Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman, LaMelo Ball, to Denny God, right?
Yep.
But, like,
Yeah, I would agree.
after that, like, the Cavs could very well take Obi Toppin.
Yeah, they could. He's kind of in that list of guys like Cole Anthony.
Apparently, ESPN has Kevin Porter Jr. listed as a center. What?
What?
Oh no, it's just not. It's just they have it listed really weird. Hold on, let me see if I can refresh this. If you could get Kevin Porter Jr., that wouldn't be bad though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, it's just not aligned. So they have all the players' names and then all the positions listed, but the positions list is shorter. So it looks like they say Kevin Porter Jr. is a shooting guard / center, when in reality that's not at all what they're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. ESPN's bugged. But Kevin Porter Jr., if you could get Kevin Porter Jr., that'd be good.
Yeah, actually, if that could get you Kevin Porter Jr., that would.
Which it's the
that would probably be
Cavs,
the
so
best
you
thing
can't.
They could get for him.
You can't.
You
Count
can
it out.
get Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah, it's very possible.
But if I'm the Warriors, I'm still taking James Wiseman over Obi Toppin. Like, unless the opportunity gives itself to trade down. You know,
I can't speak on this. I don't know. I've never watched either of them play, so I mean,
Obi Toppin is not the second overall pick. That's all you really need to know.
Well, I knew that. I knew that, but
yeah, it's especially if you're the Warriors and you just kind of need a big guy. Like the better big guy is James Wiseman over Obi Toppin.
All right, next up.
Now let's move on.
The Philadelphia 76ers. Did we talk about this last? I don't think we talked about this last week. The Philadelphia 76ers are very interested in trading for James Harden.
I feel like we have talked about it, but I don't know if we have, so I'll just make it kind of quick. I hate this idea so much. I hate it. I hate it.
I was drinking water. It went up my nose.
Sorry. But yeah, I fucking hate this idea. This is the most fucking Philadelphia 76ers move in the world. It's so fucking stupid. Why would you want to do this? You're trading, because here's what you're going to do. Here's what the fucking 76ers are going to do. They're going to trade Joel Embiid for him, or Ben Simmons. But it would probably make more sense to trade Joel Embiid, because then it opens up the 4 and 5 for Tobias Harris and Al Horford, so those contracts don't look quite as dumb.
But
and
they
then you
still
get
will.
a shooting guard, and Ben Simmons can run the 1. So you have a lineup of, let's see, Ben Simmons at the 1, James Harden at the 2, Josh Richardson at the 3, Tobias Harris at the 4, Al Horford at the 5. That's not a top 2 seed, top 3 seed in the East. That's maybe the 4 seed. I mean, motherfucker. How often are they gonna keep doing this?
Until they win a ring, baby.
Because here's the thing with the 76ers is I also don't think they should run it back.
No, definitely not.
I also don't think that they should run it back with this team as constructed, but also, is Ben Simmons in there enough of a positive influence to swing a series like the Celtics won? Probably not. They're probably still getting beat. Maybe not getting swept, but they're still getting beat.
Well, the thing is, if Ben Simmons is on the court, Joel Embiid's not averaging his 30 and 15 a game.
Well, that's true, too. So do you trade for a guy that would – because here's the thing. No matter what, if Joel Embiid / Ben Simmons is going to look better with James Harden over the other one.
One thing I will say.
It is. Ben Simmons
Joel Embiid
a game.
Doing what he did in those 4 games against the Celtics upped his trade stock a lot. Because everyone knew, last season he was amazing. He averaged 28 and 13, some insane. But this season, this roster was constructed so poorly that they turned a potential MVP candidate that was balling out, and then he averaged 23 and 10 or something. And then Ben Simmons is not there anymore, and you shorten the rotation, and he's out there in the low post where he belongs, and he's averaging 30 and 15. So that shows that a team that takes Joel Embiid away from Ben Simmons is improving greatly, because he's not going to be back. It's just when he plays with that team.
But also, if you're the Rockets, do you do that? Do Ben Simmons and Russell Westbrook make sense? I don't think they do.
I mean,
unless you can move Russell Westbrook and you're just okay, fuck it, start the rebound with Austin Rivers.
Start the rebound, baby.
Start the rebuild with Austin Rivers and taller Austin Rivers.
Austin Rivers can shoot, man. What do you mean?
That's true.
Austin Rivers better than Ben Simmons? Question mark.
I don't know, dude. But that's a horrible team.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that Rockets
That's the
team.
problem. Is Ben Simmons is that player that you have to build a team so specifically around him that you really can't have any flexibility. You have to have there's a list of 20 players that can play with Ben Simmons, and you got to have 8 or 9 of them on your team to be successful.
Yeah. You basically
which is kind
just
of
have
problematic.
To have a bunch of good shooters and a really good back to the basket center that they're going to take away.
Like Chris Middleton.
Yeah, Chris Middleton.
Brook Lopez, Kevin Love.
Yeah. And Russell Westbrook is not one of those players. And in fact, if
he's the opposite.
If you have him on a team with Ben Simmons, it's like having -5 of those players.
Yeah. But at the same time, do you want to have Russell Westbrook and Joel Embiid on the same team?
Well, they'd have to work out their issues, but I think that's a significantly better team.
They're both
Russell
so
Westbrook
petty that I don't think they work out those. Like, they're both petty.
Probably. Honestly, if I'm the Rockets, if you just want to delve into the Rockets for a second, fuck it. I'm trading Harden for Simmons, and then I'm trading Westbrook for a shitload of first-round picks because somebody's going to give it to you. Charlotte or New York is going to give it to you. They're going to give you 4 or 5 first-round picks for him. And then you get all the first-round picks back that you just gave to the Thunder. And then you're probably a little bit better off because now you have Ben Simmons and you have picks to build around him. And you start the rebuild. You just start the rebuild like that. You're probably
you start the
7 or
rebuild
8
with
seed
$30
next
million
year.
Contract on your books. Easy.
But just one and not 2 $40 million contracts, which is a lot better.
That's fair.
Honestly, I don't see why that's a bad idea for them to do because you're probably going to make the playoffs next year. And that pick's going to the Thunder anyway, so fuck it.
I know that the Sixers have been in this perpetual state of tanking for the last 20 years, but this team,
Allen Iverson's been there more recently.
This team's not the players on this team are not going to win you anything. You got to trade them away.
Yeah. I'd say trade, and I've been saying, we've been saying this for, months now. Trade away one of Ben Simmons / Joel Embiid. Boom. You're probably instantly better. Or at least you have less issues.
For the Sixers' benefit, you want to trade away Ben Simmons. But at the same time, if you're any other team, you probably want Joel Embiid. So,
yeah, I think that Joel Embiid is the better player.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I think he's the better player. I don't know. They're so close.
But I don't know necessarily if he's a better player, but he's a player that can fit on a team that's not exclusively built around him. It just has to be not one of the most poorly constructed rosters in the league.
I mean, the better move for the Sixers is trading Ben Simmons because they have 0 of the assets to make Ben Simmons work well. But I would agree that the better move, the player that teams are going to want more is Joel Embiid because he's the, borderline MVP.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Boy, Daryl Morey's got a job over there, man.
Daryl Morey has got
He's got his work cut out for him, man.
And he always had a good relationship with James Harden. It seemed I never heard that they were. I heard more about D'Antoni and Harden not liking each other than Morey and Harden not liking each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think that James Harden on the Sixers, I don't know, it could work, but you got to get rid of Ben Simmons. You got to get rid of Ben Simmons. And then if you're the Rockets, that means that you have to get rid of Russell Westbrook. Because that is not a team that I want to watch. They're probably better without Russell Westbrook and Ben Simmons than with Russell Westbrook and Ben Simmons.
Yeah, that's definitely. All right. Want to move on?
Yeah.
So we've already covered Devin Booker. The next thing I wanted to talk about, the Mavs are looking to move their 18th pick in hopes to get a player that can help them contend right now.
Oh, should we also talk about the Celtics wanting to move up? Because I think they have 3 first-round picks this year.
Oh, did they want to move up? I didn't see any reports about that, but sure.
Yeah, the Boston Celtics have 3 first-round picks this year, so they have the 14th pick, the 26th pick, and they have the 30th pick. So, okay, so let's talk about the Mavs first. What do you think they should do?
Well, if they are trying to, first of all, Kristaps isn't even guaranteed to play until halfway mark of the season, so I don't know if you want to rush it just now. But Luka's a superstar. He's a top 5-6 player in the league. So, if anything, I mean, I don't even know. Because like the 18th pick in this draft isn't going to be exceptionally valuable either. So it's not like you're getting some
this is
super high
really
like
any pick outside of the top 10 isn't exceptionally valuable.
Right. So it's not like you're going to get some borderline all-star player.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe the Kings would take this pick and you could get Harrison Barnes back. Like that's about the best player I can see you getting for this pick. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, good luck to them. I like Luka. I've turned around on him since his rookie year.
Well, it's not that you didn't like Luka. You didn't like the coverage he was getting, which is fair. Like
that's what's going to happen with Zion
probably going to
next
warm
year.
up to Zion this year.
Yeah. And then it's a cycle. You know, it happens every time there's a new greatest player of all time drafted.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I think if Giannis signs the Supermax, they're kind of fucked.
The Mavs?
I mean, they're not obviously a team with a great player as young as Luka is never fucked. But that kind of, like, that's their future plans is to make a push for Giannis or get somebody from the 2021 free agency class, which is maybe going to be better than the 2019 one. Which, as we all know, is the greatest free agency class of all time.
Knicks, get ready.
Mm-hmm.
But, like...
Knicks fans.
Honestly, I don't see a situation in which you want to keep Kristaps. Like, he's good when he plays, but when he plays is, like, half of a season.
Yeah, and he doesn't play in the playoffs either because he's hurt.
Yeah.
He plays like game 40 through game 82 and then the first game of the playoffs and is like, "Oh shit. I have a career-altering injury."
Yeah. And then like another thing I wanted to talk about because it is interesting. I don't know if we've covered it on the podcast before, but Rudy Gobert, 1, wants a Supermax, but 2, there was like, I don't know if it was rumors or if it was just some Instagram page being like, hey, wouldn't this be cool if the Mavs made a trade for Rudy Gobert? But I just want to say, no, that would not be cool because Rudy Gobert wants a max, which is too much money for him. So
yeah, especially like they would probably get his bird rights in that, so Mark Cuban would be like, hell yeah, I'll give Rudy Gobert the Supermax because Mark Cuban does that sometimes.
Well, not with Steve Nash.
No, not with Steve Nash, but Mark Cuban gets a little too excited if he gets a good player sometimes and then gives them so much money.
Yeah.
Like Harrison Barnes is a great example of that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think they can get anything really, really valuable for that pick, but who knows?
All right. The last thing up, this was something that you actually have, you know more about than I do, but it's the Bucks possibly willing to absorb that Harrison Barnes contract in an attempt to trade for Bogdan Bogdanović.
Yeah. So honestly, this is. Like, I saw this on League Alerts. I saw that they were willing to get that contract. And actually, I follow a Kings fan page called Kings Everything, or Kings Dot Everything, which is weird because I'm not really a big Kings fan.
You love their fan pages, though.
Yeah, so the Milwaukee Bucks plan to pursue Bogdanović, willing to absorb the contract of Harrison Barnes. So this is ridiculous and insane. Do not do this. Why would you do this? Because you're basically saying, like, I'll take on Bogdanovic's contract and I'll take on Harrison Barnes' contract for just Bogdanović. That's basically allotting, like, $30 million a year for one player who's not worth $30 million a year.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. I don't think they should do it. That's all I really had to say about that.
Now imagine this. The Bucks trade Chris Middleton for Ben Simmons. Now you're running Ben Simmons at the 3. So you got Eric Bledsoe,
Oh my God.
Dante DiVincenzo, Ben Simmons, Giannis, and Brook Lopez. What do you think?
Bad. I think that's bad.
That could be lethal. We don't know. Maybe the problem with the Bucks in the playoffs is that they have too much shooting, so they need to get less.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I really had to say about that. I thought that was just weird that they were going to do that and kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think is that all we got?
Well, we got the divisional round, baby.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We have a whole nother thing to do, and we're an hour and 10 minutes in.
It's not that bad. We only have like really 3 teams to talk about. So we're doing the Central Division in the East.
Yes.
Start out with the Bucks. I don't really have anything to say about the Bucks. If the option is presented to you to give Giannis the Supermax, fucking do it immediately and figure out the team around him later.
Yes.
Fucking keep that if you can. That's all I have to say about them.
The one player or move they need to do is bring Giannis back on the Supermax.
Yep. Make sure that Giannis signs that Supermax. Make sure you have plenty of number 2 pencils in ink just in case it breaks or runs out. Just please re-sign him. Make that your number 1 priority. After that, I'd say their next priority should be to move Eric Bledsoe so that you don't have that money on your
You think you could get Eric Bledsoe
books.
for Kevin Love? You think that's a potential trade?
Well, it's the Cavs, so yeah.
Eric Bledsoe's their starting small forward.
Then Kevin Porter Jr. really would be like their center.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's all I got to say about the Bucks. Yeah.
Next up, the
Boston
Pacers.
has their first round pick this year, but they have the Pacers' first round pick, I think.
Yeah.
So win-win, baby.
So we have the
Pacers. They have the 24th overall pick. Pacers.
You had something you wanted to say for this too, right?
Yeah, so I saw an article. So I follow 8 points 9 seconds on Twitter. I follow some of the 8 points 9 seconds guys. That's just like a Pacers blog. And there was an article that came up on my feed, and I had to make sure that I read the title because like I couldn't figure out if I was reading it correctly. The Pacers should not trade Miles Turner for the 2nd overall pick.
Which
guys,
they should do.
Pacers fans.
If that opportunity presents itself to you, do that.
Why would you not do that? I don't know if these people just have never watched Miles Turner or what. Like,
they still think he's got to be an all-star, dude.
Even last year, when I was really defending Miles Turner a lot, and I still don't think that he's nearly as bad as a lot of Pacers people say he is. Cough, cough, Noah. Sorry, I just had to do that. It's basically saying, like, we know what this guy's ceiling is, which is not an all-star, a pretty decent player and maybe an all-defensive team guy. Mm-hmm. And we're like, we'll keep him over the ability to draft a superstar. Like, obviously fucking do that, Pacers. I don't understand. You have a new coach.
There shouldn't be a conversation.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a conversation. If the Warriors give you the opportunity to take that pick, even if it means that we have to take on the Andrew Wiggins contract, fucking do it.
And
take on Andrew Wiggins, draft James Wiseman.
Bad, but it's not like Andrew Wiggins is a bad basketball player.
No,
he gets a lot of hate.
Andrew Wiggins is going to come to Indiana, be an all-star, be the most improved player, and then like have a compound fracture in both of his legs in his second season here.
Yeah,
like he's going to be.
That's
as
very
the number
Pacers
one player on a
happen.
team, which he really has never been before, besides his rookie season. Like he'll probably be an all-star in the East.
On the Pacers, there's no number one option though. Everyone just kind of plays. Actually, maybe with the new coach, there will be a number one option. I don't know. I've never seen him coach, so I don't know what the
honestly, like I would definitely do this because I don't really want to draft James Wiseman because if I'm the Pacers because like
do you think
because we already have fucking Domantas Sabonis and he's a much better 5 than he is a 4 and I don't want to make a rookie. I don't know.
All right,
but if Anthony Edwards is available, definitely take him.
Imagine this, right? We trade Victor Oladipo for like I don't know who do we trade Victor? Giannis. No, like who? Just throw out a player. Who are we trading Vic for in this hypothetical?
Just any player?
Well, someone reasonable.
Harrison Barnes, Bogdan Bogdanovic, and the Kings' first-round pick.
So nothing. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And then we trade T.J. Warren and Miles Turner for Wiggins and that 2nd overall pick. We draft the Denny God.
T.J. Warren. No.
Hey.
Actually, I would be fine with that.
Because then
I don't really want to give up T.J. Warren because I think you could only give up Miles Turner, and the Warriors would be like, okay, we need to match the contracts or whatever, and then give us that pick. So
I don't think they just throw it. Like, this isn't one of those picks where you're like, yeah, we'll just throw it in there. And Wiggins isn't exactly a throw-in caliber player either. He's still pretty good.
No, I know, but the Warriors need a center. Like, I guess, like, the point of... I didn't really read the whole article. I just am reacting to the headline. But I did read the first part enough to be like, oh, they're actually, like, saying that that the Pacers shouldn't trade Miles Turner for the second overall pick, which they should, and they should draft Anthony Edwards if he's available. If he's not available, it gets a lot more difficult because I don't think that they should draft James Wiseman, even though I think he's probably the best player after Anthony Edwards. And I don't think that they should draft LaMelo Ball because... his dad would have a fit if he went to Indiana. So,
and that leaves the Denny God.
And that leaves the Denny God, which I'm not fully convinced on yet. Not because he's like just a European player. I think that Luka proved everybody wrong with that. I just don't have a very good feeling about him. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Well, when the Bulls draft him, we'll prove you wrong. So,
and that brings us to the Bulls.
Yeah, the Bulls.
The Bulls have the 4th overall pick this year, which is the best pick they've had in a long time.
Yeah, because they always get the 7th.
Yeah, because they always get the 7th pick. Kobe White is very good.
Yes.
I think he's going to be
an
underrated player.
Dumb Jim Boylan didn't start him until like the last 2 games.
Yep. So Kobe White, obviously, future is bright there. If you get Denny Avdija, which I just have a dumb, bad feeling about. It's not actually like anything legitimate, I don't think. I don't know why I have a bad feeling about him. But I really hope he's good because I want the Bulls to be good again. Please.
Yes, sir. We got another Bulls fan.
Well, I'm not really. I mean, I am a Bull. I'm not. I don't know. I always am partial to the Bulls. They're definitely the biggest market team that I really like. Like, I really like them.
And they have Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah, and they've got Lowry. So, yeah, that's all I really want to say. Just utilize that 4th overall pick. If Denny's available, take him. Yeah, if Denny's available, take him, which I can't imagine he's not. If he's not available, then that means that one of LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, and James Wiseman are available.
I don't know if I want LaMelo Ball on the Bulls.
Yeah, I don't know if I
think you skip on that one.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Pistons are dumb enough to take him, though.
Yeah, so that brings us to the Pistons.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice, but I'm just really good with transitions.
Yeah, so the Pistons have the 7th overall pick, I believe.
6, I thought. Maybe it is 7.
Pistons have the 7th overall pick. Atlanta has the 6th.
Okay.
They have the 7th overall pick. I don't really know what you do here if you're the Pistons because you have Christian Wood, who's pretty good, but not worth the money that I think he's going to get, and he doesn't even really seem to want to be in Detroit anyway, so just, like, let him walk, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do a sign and trade with the Knicks. Like, they could maybe make that work. I don't know. I don't know. Like, Luke Kennard's probably your best player after that. Like, if you assuming you don't get a healthy Blake Griffin, which I guess that's still possible. Not probable, but it's still possible.
Yeah, but I feel like at this point in his career, healthy Blake Griffin's like a solid player. You know?
I mean, he was an all-star in 2018, or all-star caliber. I can't even remember if he was an all-star. But
I think he was.
Yeah, so I think he can still be on that level. He gets a lot of hate, which I don't really know why, because he's never seemed like a douchebag or anything. Like, I guess he punched that equipment trainer in, like, 2015, but...
He did also leave his wife to date a Kardashian.
Yeah, so. That was bad. Yeah, never mind. I guess he is pretty hateable. Yeah. But, I don't know. He doesn't really do anything outward on... Like, most people don't like players because they're douchey on the court and, like, just talk too much on Instagram. And he doesn't...
I remember that video of, like, Blake Griffin complaining to the ref and Vince Carter did that weird flop thing. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think he can be on that level again. I don't know. Maybe not. But the Pistons are in such a tough position. Tank for Emoni Bates, I guess.
Yes, sir. I like him.
Yeah.
I've never seen him play, but I think from what I've heard, he's supposed to be very good. So now I want him to be very good. He's going to be my player in the draft 2 or 3 years from now whenever he comes in.
Yeah, probably. I think he's like a sophomore
right.
in high school right now, so hopefully the one and done rule will be abolished by then.
Hopefully. All right, next up, Cavs. Honest,
Cavs.
What do the Cavs do?
Okay, so the Central Division has the 4th pick, the 5th pick, and the 7th pick. And the best team out of all of those, like the best pick out of the best pick of the bottom 3 teams in the Central Division, or the best team also has the highest pick. Love these new. I actually love these new lottery odds.
I like them too.
Okay, breaking news. The Ravens have elevated Dez Bryant from the practice squad to the active roster.
Let's go.
I'm really excited for this. I wanted to see that. Sorry, I know we're a basketball podcast, but I just had to get that.
We could
out
talk
there.
about some football on here. It's okay.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, we can if you want. Maybe if stuff starts to get really slow, we can.
Yeah.
But I don't really see that happening because we've had back-to-back episodes where we've been talking for a good hour and 15 minutes.
And the draft is going to be in 2 weeks.
And the draft is in 2 weeks. So, Cleveland, draft Obi Toppin, I would say, even though I don't really want to see him go to Cleveland.
I mean,
like
they have Drummond.
Okay, actually, that's a good thing. Don't re-sign Andre Drummond.
Too
don't
late.
Lock yourself into.
They're giving him max.
Ugh. They're gonna give him so much money. Don't do that. You have a top 5 pick. This is very, very valuable for you guys.
Cleveland.
Last year you had the 5th pick and you fucking took. Who'd they take? They took Darius Garland with the 5th overall pick last year.
Listen to me really carefully, Cleveland. Zone out Aiden. Zone out all the haters. They don't know anything. I know everything.
Okay.
Colin Sexton, 6'1", great pick. Darius Garland, 6 foot. Coming off an injury, he didn't play in college, but he's probably going to be a stud because he's playing in Cleveland. So, what have we learned? History repeats itself. Cole Anthony, he is 6 foot. He'll probably be pretty solid because he's a 6 foot player, and you guys draft good 6 foot players. So draft Cole Anthony, run all 3 of them at the same time, and then the year after that, continue to draft 6'1" players and run a small ball lineup that puts the Rockets to shame.
Honestly, with the 3 small player lineup, that could be like really fun if they just score like 140 points a game and just lose every game by like 3 points. But like, I don't know. Like I think that Obi Toppin will be the best player available at that point, but who really knows? Like, I don't know. This is such a weird draft. Like, if you can get a Moni Bates, maybe. Like,
he's not in this draft.
I'm not Amoni Bates. Onyeka Kongwu, maybe he'll be good. But I don't really know. Like, it's gonna be this. It's kind of weird after those first 2 picks. So
yeah. Is that all we got?
Yeah. Yeah. Cleveland is just so sad.
They are. They had LeBron.
They're the Detroit of Ohio.
Which is, Detroit's not even that far. They're like the Knicks of the Midwest.
A lot of shitty towns in the Midwest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Midwest is nice for cheap living, corn, and no, like...
Teen pregnancy,
and no exceptionally bad weather. You don't get many hurricanes in
tornadoes,
the Midwest.
And blizzards.
You haven't had a blizzard in a while, dude. It's 70 degrees in West Lafayette. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
And tornadoes, bro, like, just blow back and push the tornado away.
Those are ass, bro. What are you talking about?
Dude, if a tornado coming towards you, everyone in the town get together and blow as hard as you can, push the tornado the other way.
Yeah.
I don't know why people haven't thought of this yet.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, and cornhole. That's a fun game. Don't find that many places other than the Midwest. I don't think anyway. I haven't really been many places, but I'm assuming they have better things to do than cornhole, but cornhole's a very underrated game. So, I'm right now making a pitch for players to come to the Pacers too, because I'm describing all of the positive qualities of the Midwest.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I guess that's kind of it. I think, right?
Yeah, that's all I got. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the podcast. We upload every Sunday. Subscribe to our personal channels. I haven't uploaded in like a month and a half, but I'll probably get on that soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Aiden still uploads every Monday. And if I can find it, Aiden, I'm going to put your article in the description. Aiden wrote a pretty poggers sports article about football. So check that out.
I'm going to try to do that a little more.
Yeah, he's on his way to ESPN. So take me with you.
I'm hoping that they just draft me straight out of high school.
Yeah, take me with you though. And then
dude, I will.
And then we got the email, I guess, if you want to send us an email about whatever, I don't know, promotional stuff, I guess.
If you want to send us.
Dude, not in November.
Boobs. That's true, dude.
But yeah,
that's true.
That's all we got. Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Right. Bye. Thank you.